Boy Wonder, aka Mr. Sinister. And I'm just fresh out of a 13-hour shift. I had a little corte dito, so I'm like wired right now. And I was listening to a podcast on my way here, and I'm like, the topic was so interesting to me. I was like, I gotta go in on it. This is in response to this video right here. I'm probably not gonna play the entire thing. We're listening to this live because I haven't heard the entire thing. I heard maybe like a minute and a half in, and I'm like, all right, I gotta definitely do a little segment about this. I gotta talk about this. But before I get into all of that, someone asked me why I say the name Mr. Sinister. And it's actually from an Eminem song, the song Renegade. And he's like, Mr. Sinister, Mr. Kiss My Ass is just a... And I say like Mr. like that because of this anime. Maybe some of y'all don't know about it, but it's the anime JoJo. And here, so it's actually inspired by the way this guy says it. I know it's like the Japanese version, but the way he says Mr., I'm like, yo, that's catchy. Somebody needs to clip that. So zoom out, man, stop playing with me. All right, somebody needs to clip that and like send it to me so I can have it as like a soundbite. I have my little struggle stream right now, so once I get everything all situated and YouTube actually pays your boy some money, then I'll do some more investments into the actual podcast. But all right, check this out. Just so people know where I get the name from. So. Mista! Yo, somebody clip that, his sound right there. Somebody just send me that saying Mista like that. I'll have like a nice little intro, going in or whatever. All right, but enough about that. Let's get into the subject matter here. So we're talking about this video. China's female millennials are in a matchmaking frenzy. So these millionaire shorties can't get a boo. All right, we're gonna go in on this. Fair use too, so don't come at me. I'm broke.
It's Valentine's Day in Chengdu, and preparations are well underway for an unusual event. A matchmaking party to find husbands for some of the city's single female millionaires. These women are part of China's new elite, the super rich, who seem to have it all. But when it comes to love, they're victims of their own success. How many applications have you had?
So this is the part that made me, because YouTube did like a little playlist, and I hit forward and it goes on to the next thing that the algorithm thinks I'll probably like, and shit, the algorithm, right? Because I was like, immediately gravitated by it. But it's something that one of these dudes said, and I was like, yo, this is wild.
We have received over
5,000 applications.
Johnny Do is the man playing Cupid tonight.
And how many will be here tonight?
And after all the screening and selecting, and we eventually picked the 51 gentlemen to attend this event.
So 51 men and 51 women?
Yes.
Don't hide your face, bro.
Among the arriving potential husbands are local civil servants, a judge, and a senior policeman.
So pretty much like the regular dudes, not like, top 1% type of guys. So you have overall like a 1% girl in terms of like economic status or whatever, and she still can't get a 1% man. She has to get like, no shot at these people, but like sort of like the average man. Now check out, listen to what this man says.
Johnson, why did you come here?
To
find a partner.
Find a partner for life.
Johnson Z is 26 and works in IT. He's wearing badge number 8, the luckiest number of all in China.
Well, if you're lucky, you could end up with a millionairess.
Yes, but I'm doing pretty well myself, so I don't want... That's not particularly my consideration.
So money is not an issue?
Not really, no.
What have we been saying in the RP, bro? Like, a woman's money does not matter. It's not a factor. Like, and it's crazy because, like, you have someone from China, the other side of the world, with a different economy, a different way of life, different culture. You have somebody in this side of the world. You have somebody here. We're all saying the same thing. This is within a man's biology. We don't care how much you make. It's incumbent upon us to protect and provide anyway. So what does your, I mean, it's great. It's like an icing on the cake or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're still going to look for us to handle the expenses. Like, for example, not to like flex or whatever, but a few months ago, I went on a date with this one chick. She was this one Jewish chick. She was a millionaire, bro. She was a millionaire. I went on a date with her, and I still had to pay. So what the fact that she made all that money is mute. It's irrelevant.
So ideally, you'd like to find a woman who's 26 or under?
I have to be honest here that actually Chinese girls, women, they psychologically grew older than Western girls.
That feminism, that Western feminism already creeped over to China, bro.
China will soon be the world's biggest economy. It's already home to 1.5 million millionaires, a third of them women. But far from being considered a catch, China's ambitious modern woman is finding few prospects in the marriage market. It's a social contradiction that's inspired this song.
Oh, wow. Yo, that's like their equivalence of I don't want no scrub. A scrub is that you guys know what I'm talking about?
Deng Feng is a millionaire entrepreneur who made her fortune by selling furniture. What is the downside of being a very wealthy single woman in China today?
我觉得容易让别人定义为女强人，这种负面象。
She's probably gonna say, "Oh, men are intimidated." If she says men are intimidated by me being a strong, independent woman, it's done, bro. Send the asteroid. Like, you can't go nowhere. Feminism is global at this point.
会
The impact of success in my pursuit of love. Okay.
就是说爱情的一些成功吧。
Okay. She
In
didn't
China,
say
a woman
that.
who fails to succeed in love by the time she turns 28 is branded leftover.
Say it.
But at 42 and single, Ms. Deng says she won't be deterred from the search
Yo,
to find out.
you're 42. Like, why are you even still looking to get married? At 30, it's like a buzzer beater. You gotta throw up a Hail Mary at that point. At 35, you gotta start packing it up.
Are men afraid of a strong woman in China?
Oh, here we go. The guy fed it to her.
这个
Okay,
应
good.
该不是怕，我觉得应该是，应该中国传统是男尊女卑，但是当我认为是，这个女企业家呢，她在工作当中的这种强势会到生活当中会有一个惯性，
Okay.
所以这个时候不是怕，而是一种可能觉得。
Yeah, that's more or less the right sentiment, because if you go and be hyper successful in your endeavors in the workplace, you're gonna bring that masculinity, that masculine energy, those traits back into the home, and men just typically aren't interested in that.
Hoping that tonight, at the matchmaking party, her fortunes might change, Deng Feng wants to look her best.
little 如果我能够真的能够去代表这个中
I think in China they call a man who's like over 30 or 35 who's still a single, they call him a diamond bachelor. So I like that phrase. I'm gonna start using that. We're the diamond bachelors.
目前是有这一类型的剩女也好啊，就专门代表我有点意思。
Miss Deng is an old friend of Johnny Do, CEO of one of China's top 3 internet dating sites. Online dating is big business in China, once even listed on the Nasdaq stock market.
The Chinese government published a report, and so currently there are nearly 200 million
Singles in China, wow.
singles in China.
200 million.
Yeah, 200 million.
200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200 million. 200
singles
Wow.
in China, and also and it's keep growing.
It's a social time bomb. China's skewed gender imbalance means there are currently 118 men for every 100 women. Yet despite the shortage of women, Chinese men remain very picky.
Chinese men remain. Yo, shout out to the Chinese men out there. If they brought this mentality over here, like we wouldn't have this crazy inequities. Like it always boggles me when I see how things are in the West. Like men are hyper competitive and trying to get scraps. Like we are here, you know, working on our finances, on our looks, on our physique, strength, all this stuff, and then as a reward, we get like some overweight woman that doesn't even take care of herself. Like we need to have more of these the mentality of these Chinese men to sort of like level out, at the very least level out the playing field. Because even if you look at these women, at least like say what you want about them, but they're competing, you know. And you ask a Western woman to compete, they're like, why should I have to compete for a man? I don't compete for no man. And honestly, it pains me to say this, but they're right. We men are taking whatever's left. We don't even have any standards for ourselves.
So if you're a woman who's single and is 30 or over, you're considered left over.
Correct. Recent survey said that if you're older than 28, you're called the leftover man.
Right.
It's just a tradition. Maybe the pressure from the peers and from the societies. If you date for like an old woman and older than you, and probably the people around you will look down on you.
Traditionally in China, happiness depends upon marriage, and so for some parents, getting their adult children married off is an obsession. At this Beijing park, desperate parents hold a marriage market several times a week.
They have marriage markets out there. That's so weird.
Here, parents post...
It's like resumes. They're like, oh, this is my whatever. Here's the resume. This is why they qualify as a wife.
Tales about their unmarried children in the hope they'll find a match.
So this is 33 and 1 year course in position. Yeah.
So each one of these is a personal biography.
I've never seen this before.
This is a very free air and no money exchange. Anybody who gets married, to get married,
Yes.
it's a good place.
Mr. Pang tells me that he's looking for a husband for his daughter.
Now, 36 years old. She's working in London.
I said, I'm still not married. And then they said, oh, you are too critical. That's why you couldn't find this right.
Catherine Zhao is 35 and a civil engineer. But like Deng Feng, she's considered a leftover woman.
Do you get sad sometimes?
Yeah, of course. I just wish the people never look the single woman as a strange kind of human being in the world. I think the world changed so fast. Everything changed. And I'm satisfied in this moment. And I'm also satisfied and also looking forward to have my own family.
She says she spent most of her 20s and 30s working on her career.
Oh, that's so backwards. Like, the female mating strategy is so backwards. Like, you guys will spend your prime years trying to get an education and trying to, climb up the corporate ladder. Like, and then once you land that job and you start working off and trying to pay off your student debt, by the time you're ready to start dating, you're over 30, and then at that point 90% of your eggs are gone, and you can't just go up and pick a man out of the shelf. You have to go through the vetting process and find the right man for you. At that point you're 35, 40, it's done. Like you're doing as if you were a man. Men have the luxury to say, okay, let me get my finances right because I understand that's what's most important to me. I have to be able to provide. And then since we have the wider reproductive window, we can say, oh, let's hold it off till we're 30, whatever, and then, pursue that relationship. You guys are not men. You guys got to do it different. Look, look for the relationship first. While you're in college, try to find the right man for you. You know, have your child, have your marriage, whatever, and then once the child is more stable and you're not pushing that child off into, you know, daycare or whatever, you can actually, you know, pursue or advance your career.
Now she admits she struggles to get a date.
They said, okay, one day when you retire.
Like honestly, like I mean, she's cute or whatever, but like I wouldn't even push for that, because what am I gonna get out of it? Like if you in terms of like reproduction or whatever, she's a liability, fam. Like yeah, she can, you know, carry her own, but at the and this is like the best case scenario. The female equivalent of this here in the West would be she'll have like 3 baby daddies, and she'll have massive student loan debt, and she'll have an attitude, and she'll be, you know, incredibly overweight. She's actually competing still. You know, she keeps herself in good shape. She you know, seems to be feminine. It's wild.
If nobody around you, if you get sick, who will take care of you? This is always kind of thoughts from a parent side of it.
Catherine tells me that though she and her friends haven't given up hope of finding true love, they're not willing to compromise on who they are.
Here we go. They still won't compromise. Women are, like I said this in my other video, like wherever you go in the world, women are always the same. Like there'll be some tiny cultural differences, but for the most part, the anatomy is the same. The women are the same wherever you go, bro.
Do you think men find you intimidating?
I think the men do.
And there goes the intimidation. They're just scared.
Maybe after that, maybe they think I'm too independent.
They think you're too independent.
Possible, yeah. This is at least I learned from my ex-boyfriend.
There is an argument behind that too, because if she's been living on her own for this long, she does develop too much of an independence. She likes things a certain way, and old habits are going to be hard to break. So I'll give it to her. That is a fair argument.
He told you that?
Yeah, he told me.
Do you think you are?
I think I'm independent because my parents educate me by this way. Even I'm a girl, but my parents tell me, even you're a girl, you should do everything. Try to do everything by yourself.
Now tell me.
No. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. Like these strong, independent women, they're not doing as well as you think they're doing. Like I just came from work. Like sometimes these women will be in the bathroom crying because they can't handle the pressure, or they know that they can't do it long term. So like don't take it surface level. Like they're not doing as well as you think. I'm trying to be polite here, but you know, you just got to take my word for it.
What sort of woman do Chinese men want?
I think from my experience, I think that they prefer the women as beauty.
Yes.
First must be beauty, and second they are a little bit
Say it.
not that smart.
Yes, she's right. Yo, shout out to this video, bro. Shout out to the algorithm. She's absolutely right. You don't want someone who, like, okay, the phrasing, oh man, I hate that I have to keep filtering myself, but the phrasing is not like what's culturally acceptable. But yes, we don't want someone who's, to quote her words, but not that smart. Because when someone is smart, they want to, you know, challenge everything you say, you know, and we don't want that. We just want peace. Like someone who's just pretty and not that smart. Like that's why on these millionaires, they get like some blonde bimbo trophy wife and they're happy. This is the ideal dynamic. We don't want somebody who's going to challenge us at every single step.
To have a certain education, but not so much.
Right.
Not too much.
Submissive, yes. We are not that complicated, bro.
I think they also prefer that the girl is conservative.
Yeah.
I think this is very important.
Yeah, conservatives have more of a principle behind it. And I was a liberal too. Like I'm leaning more towards conservatism. And you see the way they behave. They care more about the family structure. Liberals, like, they're just flowing with the wind, free, whatever, you know, 1 minute they're this, next minute they're that, face tattoos, you know, bullhorn piercing, booger jewelry, all this crazy stuff. And then they're 150 different sexes. I don't, man, I'm done with all of that. 150. I got that from Pokemon. 100 different Pokemon.
Perfect match is always a challenge for any person, for any couples.
Matchmaker Johnny Do says it's not only Chinese men who are choosy about potential partners.
Women pickers, they're really picky and they want the man to be.
Yes, bro. What? This is crazy. This is in China. It's the same thing we're experiencing here in the West. They want the man to be very rich, young, handsome. You're not going to get a man who is young, very rich. By the time you acquire riches, more than likely, you're not a young man anymore. If you're handsome, that is almost an anomaly. Like, that's like the 20%. Like, not everyone is like beautiful like that, you know, like you have to compromise with everything. And the good thing about being a man is like we are willing to date down. Like men historically have always dated down. We're not like, you guys know the whole boyfriend store or whatever. We men didn't even reach the third floor or the fifth floor or whatever. Women, they just kept going. They kept wanting more and more and more. And man, let's just keep going.
Young, handsome, and also rich, handsome, and educated, and also be good, be good to them.
Back at the matchmaking party, it's speed dating Chinese style.
我觉得好像就是规划的没清楚，就每个人长什么样，是什么样的人啊，根本就记不住了。
But before long, things begin to look hopeful for Miss Deng. She appears to be hitting it off with number 46, a businessman from Beijing. All too soon, the dinner is drawing to a close. The smile on Miss Deng's face suggests the evening was a
Don't mess
success.
it up, Miss Deng.
But has she found love?
Uh-oh.
我觉得还是个比较特别的。我觉得这个七夕啊，今天是中国的情人节啊，我觉得还挺有意义的。
Gotta throw that Hail Mary.
肯定要成为这个恋人的朋友哈，但最起码要多认识几个朋友。
Alright, that's the end of that video. Yeah, you guys check out I just played the entire thing, but you know, thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, because I see a lot of you guys aren't really like subscribing. You guys just watch and keep it moving. I would appreciate it. It's free. It takes a second. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.